The battlefields of the Second World War were full of noises. Gunfire, engines accelerating the tracks of heavy tanks, explosions, and screams. War is a place of terror and death. No one understood to combine the both better than the Nazis. The Stuka Ju-87 was perhaps the most feared aircraft of the Luftwaffe. The German aviation manufacturer Junkers was tasked to present a new aircraft to deliver a payload on moving targets as precisely as possible. The Stuka is a very capable striker without a doubt, but there are many other strikers that perform just as well or even better. So why is the Ju-87 that much more known? What is it that sets it apart from its counterparts? Competing vehicles of its class may carry a higher versatility of loadouts, are faster, more maneuverable, or have better survivability. But there was one thing that no other was able to do, and the Stuka excelled at it. Psychological warfare is devastating. There's something about hearing imminent destruction but not seeing the danger that responds strongly to our sense of fear. The Junkers induces that terror of a threat strikingly well. You see, the fixed landing gear was home to a small propeller-like configuration, known as Jericho trumpets, which when reaching a certain speed caused a loud siren sound that gets progressively louder the faster it's going, enabling the pilots to get a feedback about their speed without taking their eyes off the targets. But the key element was that the screaming sirens could be heard from the ground, even if the plane was far away. In the first place, the psychological factor stems from agonizing uncertainty and anticipation of the coming attack. Foggy weather conditions during the sorties further fueled the intimidation. Poland and France suffered immensely from the onslaught of German bombing attacks. Especially in the early stages of the war, the Jerichos had a huge presence. And the devastating aftermath they left behind was quickly associated with them. It didn't take long to spread the word of the frightening sirens and the destruction that would come along. Usually, the 87s initiated the attacks from altitudes around 13,000 feet. It begins with pitching the nose downwards, extending the air brakes, and then plunging towards the ground. As soon as the targets are within clear sight and the plane has reached its optimal speed and angle of attack, the bombs are dropped. Immediately after that, the pilot would pull up again. That way, the rear gunner could shoot towards the enemy position to make them keep their heads down to secure a successful follow-up strike of the next plane. The deadly effectiveness and Nazi Germany's extensive use forged its chilling reputation. So, let's talk about the options the game offers to torment the ground player base. One of the earliest planes to be researched is the Ju-87B2 at BR 1.0. It's the second vehicle unlocked in the ground attack line of the tech tree. Tank armor is very thin at that rank, but 20 millimeter of steel still proves to be enough to stop the offensive 7.92 guns. Luckily, it has one of, if not the best loadout at that BR. Its outer pylons grant space for 450 kilogram bombs. For the inner spot, one may choose between a 250, an incendiary explosive, or even a mighty 500 kilogram bomb. The later is likely to take down several tanks at once. The 12-cylinder Jumo 211D engine provides 930 horsepower to accelerate the plane up to 238 miles per hour in level flight. In a dive, it can even go well beyond 400. Sitting back-to-back with the pilot in an adjointed canopy, the rear gunner operates a single machine gun, which in later versions was replaced with a twin modification to double its lacking defensive firepower. But aside from its average guns, at 1.0 it is truly exceptional at what it does. Later on, when Germany went on to fight Britain, the Jerichos were quickly ditched, as in the face of a more powerful opponent, the Stukas were suffering substantial damage, and the Sirens just weren't worth the extra repair work. This is also reflected in game, as the B2 is the only one that carries the Siren modification. They simply weren't around that long. The JUG-1 and G2 are a bit different. Instead of bombs, they are equipped with 37mm cannons, which at 1.3 are on par with most tanks' primary guns. So essentially you get a plane that hits like two tanks, and that is from above. And while ammo is scarce, with great precision, its kill potential is outstanding. At rank 2, we get the D3 and D5. The D3 enjoys the best explosive options out of all the junkers. It can use 3 500 and even a whopping 1,000 kilogram bomb. And at 2.0, not many can claim to carry loadouts that would even come close to that of the D3s. In contrary to the earlier model, the D5 received longer, slimmer wings. It also boosts some interesting options of secondary weapons. Additionally to the standard bombs, it can be equipped with 4 20mm MG-151 cannons, or 12 7.92mm MG-81 machine guns. Even with 14 guns in total, the low-caliber cartridges of the MGs are not really effective on ground targets at 3.3. The 20 mils are way better suited for that. But the 7.92s can be deployed as a mean to challenge fighters head-on. World War II has seen the dive bombers in various places all throughout the entire war. Tankers and infantry alike experienced fear beyond our understanding because of them. It was cruel, relentless, and spread terror like nothing else. In the hands of the Nazis, it left a terrifying amount of bodies behind. The Ju-87 Stuka, Agent of Chaos, Sirens of Death.